Hey guys, King of Charm here with one of the best unique rogue builds for Diablo 4. This build's a ton of fun. What this build will allow you to do is it's going to allow you to wipe out massive waves of enemies with multiple explosions. And it's like I mentioned, it's a ton of fun. I've had a blast using this build. But the build's going to require 2 items to make it work, with one of them being a unique item. Now, in order to get unique items to drop in Diablo, you're going to need to do 2 things. You're going to need to, 1, beat the campaign on either Tier 1 or Tier 2. And you're going to need to clear the Cathedral of Light capstone to unlock Tier 3. The reason you need to do this is because unique items will only drop on Nightmare Tier 3 and Torment Tier 4. After you finish those 2 requirements, you're going to be able to kill enemies or open chests, and eventually they will drop the unique item and the other item we're going to need. Alright, so the 2 items we're going to be using are going to be the Peatning Greaves, and the reason we're going to use them is because of the unique ability you get with it. You leave behind a trail of frost that chills enemies, and you deal a percentage of damage to chilled enemies depending on your role. We're going to pair it with the Icy Alchemist's Ritual Dagger. You can get this in Sacred or Ancestral form. I got it both as Sacred and Ancestral, but I ended up salvaging the Sacred version and putting it on the Ancestral one. And the reason you want it is because both of them have this Lucky Hit ability. Damaging a chilled or frozen enemy with a Shadow Imbued skill has up to a 75% chance to release an explosion that deals X amount of damage depending on your role. So what we're going to do this. If you know what basketball is, or if you watch basketball, we're going to run across the court, and we're going to shoot the ball like Steph Curry, freeze everyone in our tracks because of his movement, and then we're going to put in the dagger by blowing them all up by shooting 3-pointers, or to this point, and being ice cold and just blowing everything up with the chilled, frozen ability that you see here. And the bonus thing with it is, with Shadow Imbued abilities, you're going to be able to explode your enemies on death and create 2 explosions. Chill, and then you're going to explode them, and then just create this crazy effect that you're going to see when I demonstrate it shortly in this video. Now for your equipment, you can honestly just use a combination, but here's what I'm using for this build. As long as you have the Greaves and you have the Ritual Dagger, you're okay. As far as my helmet, I have Snap Frozen Primal Basket. The reason I have this is because this one actually has Life on Kill. You want Life on Kill to give you extra sustainability, because you're going to kill so many enemies with this combo at once that if you're already damaged, you can kind of sit there and just hit Twisting Blades and just absolutely blow up your opponent and just continue to heal your health while dashing through your enemies. The next thing you're going to need, the next thing is you want to make sure your crit strike chance is as high as possible. As you see on my offensive percentages, my crit strike chance is at 23%. You want to get that, and you want to get your crit strike damage as high as possible. Now, you don't really need a lot of crit strike damage because, well, you want as much as you can, but this is why we have emeralds on our gem slots, because it gives you extra critical strike damage to vulnerable enemies. With bows and 2 daggers, you can have 4, so that's 48% more damage against vulnerable enemies, coupled with your crit strike damage. So you're just gonna take all this crit as much as possible, and what's even better is your explosions can actually crit as well, along with the ice damage. So you're just going to have Shadow, Ice, and your Twisting Blades plus this crit, and it's going to be insane. Now, like I mentioned, you're going to need Twisting Blades as well. You can either get that from an aspect or just use an item that has it. In this case, I have Sacred Legendary Ring, which has the Twisting Blades that orbit around you. So, you just need these 2 items, and you need Twisting Blades, and boom, you get it together. Get your crit strike chance as high as possible, and get as much sustainability as you can onto your other items. As you see on my ring here, I have 2 items that actually have crit strike chance. My amulet isn't the best in the world, but I have these skulls on them just to give you more armor for sustainability. So for your amulet and your rings, give yourself skulls, put them in there for gem slots to give your sustainability. Get your crit as high as possible, and you can use a combination of other things for your pants, your gloves, anything you have. Just make sure they give you the highest strike chance as much as possible. Now for your specializations, you're going to want combo points. So we're going to throw 3 daggers, generate your combo points right here, and then we're going to couple that with our abilities. Now for abilities, I'm not going to don't worry so much about your Paragon board. You can have it modified any way you want. In all honesty, what's important here is our skill tree. So for our skill tree, I know if you're watching this video, you probably already know what they are, but I'm just going to give you a quick rundown of the abilities you're going to use. So first off, we're going to have a point in puncture, and then we're going to go ahead and put it into enhanced puncture, followed by fundamental. We want fundamental because the reason you want to is because when you hit 2 blades at once with one opponent, you make them vulnerable for 2 seconds. This procs your emerald gems, allowing you to stack that vulnerable crit damage. And that's your basic skill right there. For your core skill, you're going to want Twisting Blades. Twisting Blades is what makes this work. Well, you probably already knew that because I recommended the Twisting Blades ability. I want that orbit around you. But with the orbits, we're going to put Twisting Blades. Twisting Blades is a really fun skill. You see a ton of builds out there. And I'm going to couple this along with the Icy Alchemist Dagger and the Unique Boots combination. You want Enhanced Twisting Blades to deal more damage when they return. And you're going to have Improved Twisting Blades where enemies are dazed when impaired with Twisting Blades. So when your Twisting Blades come back, you're gonna daze them, create crowd control damage and explosion damage. So you're just gonna do a ton of damage stacking up with this combination. As for your agility skill, you're gonna want dash. So dash is pretty simple. You dash through enemies. Nothing too fancy about it. You're gonna want enhanced dash to increase the damage and the critical strike damage for 5 seconds. And that just giving you more crit strike damage. And you're going to want Discipline Dash. So you're going to hit enemies, a dash slows enemies, it hits by 30% for 3.5 damage. So you're going to be able to daze them with Twisting Blades, slow your opponents, and any opponents that are slows are going to be dazed too. So they're just going to be sitting ducks waiting to get blown up by your Twisting Blades and your combination of explosions that you're about to use when you use this combination. Next, you're going to have Concealment. Just have Concealment, and then we're going to do Enhanced Stealth, so you gain 40 energy, and then we're going to have Countering Stealth. The reason you want Countering Stealth is because your first skill that breaks Concealment will always be guaranteed Critical Strike. So your first thing, you're going to get your combo points, conceal, get your Shadow Imbuement in, and then you're going to stab them with your Twisting Blades, dash across the field, and explode your giant wave of enemies that you're willing to take out. For this build, I'm also going to be using Poison Trap. You want Poison Trap just because the reason you want this is because your modifiers, you want Enhanced Poison Trap to knock down enemies, another knockdown for you, just in case you need something to fall back on with your cooldown. But we mostly want this because of Subverting Poison Trap. Because you're gonna, not that one, disregard, you're gonna want Countering Poison Trap. The reason you want Countering Poison Trap is because you have a 30% chance to reset your Imbuement skill. You need to reset your Shadow Imbuement. So by using a Poison Trap, you can reset it and then just repeat the cycle all over again. And like I mentioned, you need Shadow damage, Imbuement damage, so we're going to use Shadow Imbuement. We're going to use Shadow Imbuement, followed by Enhanced Shadow Imbuement to increase more crit strike chance against injured enemies affected by Shadow Imbuement. So you just another chance for you to increase your critical strike chance. And then mix Shadow Imbuement. So enemies infected by Shadow Imbuement will take increased non-physical damage for you for 8 seconds. So this means your explosions are going to do more damage because it's non-physical damage. So that means your chilled explosion, etc. is going to do more damage. And then we don't actually use ultimates here. You can use Shadow Clone. I've used it. However, I don't like the cooldown. So I just like Poison Trap better. You're going to do so much damage with this anyways. You'll see in the showcase, you won't need Shadow Clone. Instead, you're going to be able to use Poison Trap in its place. And again, you want that reset to allow you to just reset this combination and allow you to just run the combo all over again. And then we're using Close Quarters Combat. So damaging enemies gives you a speed bonus. And when both are active, you get 20% increased damage against crowd control enemies. So, we're going to the reason where we're going to get that crowd control, all the knockdown, all the daze, all the frozen, all the chill, and that's going to give you a 20% increased damage. You don't beat that when it comes to your passive. As for your Paragon board, I just have the regular board combined with the trap board. And honestly, I haven't even optimized this as much as possible. The only thing I have on here that's of note is in the glyph socket, I have the increased crit chance. And as you see here, where every 5% intelligence purchase, core skills deal 2% increased critical strike damage. So just, again, putting as much crit as you can, but that's the crazy part. Maybe when I finally have mastered this and put this build, get to 100, get all my Paragon points, I can create this crazy master build that's just going to create even more explosions. But you're going to see you don't even need to really have a super optimized Paragon for this build. Alright, so here's going to be the little demonstration of how to get this done. One, you build up your combo points, then you hit Conceal, Shadow Imbuement, hit your Twisting Blades, dash through your opponents, and then you clean up the remaining enemies. Here's a quick demonstration of how to do the combo. As you see here, Concealment, Shadow Imbuement, hit the Twisting Blades, and then let the magic happen. You see all those blue explosions that go off? That's your Icy Blades aspect proccing. And that explosion, plus all the extra damage you do, was just absolutely nuts. And then here's another clip. Again, we're going to hit the combo. We're going to get our 3 combo points right here, step around, and we're just going to do the same thing over and over again. And it's just nuts at how many enemies you can wipe with this combination. Enemies just get nuked. They just get wiped. They just get erased. And then after that, you just clean up the rest of the enemies. But you just see how crazy just 2 items plus proccing crit with all these damage bonus can actually do for one simple build. And I've had a ton of fun with this build. It's been absolutely insane. This is my favorite clip, actually. Rip to Indiru. It was a great dungeon while it lasted. I don't know why Blizzard has to nerf every single thing that's fun in this game, but you know, it's what it is. So as you see, we have our Trail of Chilled Ice. We're going to go up to our enemies here, and this is what's crazy. Look, these are damage-resistant enemies. I'm not even going to go after the damage-resistant enemies. I'm just going to go straight for the other ones, and then boom. A little bit of cleanup, but as you see, it just wipes out and nukes all of the other enemies, and this build is just so much fun. And that's game. Do me a huge favor. Please like and subscribe, and I will see y'all on the next video.